Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. No do strike at the moment, but we're doing a little movie magic, as you can well imagine. Let's weigh our intakes. We're still working on DragVan. You'll know by the title and all that stuff. So let's weigh our intakes and kind of get a rough guesstimate about where we're at or what we're saving or anything like that. 14 and a half pounds of stuff that's wiring and just general garbage that's not going back in the truck. And then we've got our two intake systems here. 31.6 for the carb, 45 for the EFI setup. What is that, like 28 pounds or so, right in that area? I know we didn't weigh the ignition box that we're gonna use with the carb. We also didn't weigh the intake tubing that we used with the EFI, which was quite a bit, honestly. We also didn't weigh the scoop. If we run the scoop, we don't have to, we can run it without the scoop. So that's, let's call it 28 pounds, which in the grand scheme of things is something that weighs 4,200 pounds. That's not a big deal. That's not a game changer by any stretch of the imagination. But any weight you can lose is better than gaining weight. So unless you're getting a bunch of power out of it. So yeah, so I'm, whatever. We'll also lose a little bit with the gas tank and stuff versus the fuel cell and the pump will be a little bit lighter. So anyway, now we just got to start. Now we got to bolt that on. I don't know if I'm going to start taking the fuel lines and stuff off and drop the tank out of it. I mean, it's got to happen no matter what. So maybe we will. We got some other stuff we need to work on too. I think I'm going to go ahead and clean up the surfaces here and we're going to bolt the intake in. I also got to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with the throttle cable and stuff. So got it cleaned up. Got a fresh set of used gaskets to put on. Now we're just gonna lay some splooge down, drop the intake on. Got it all torqued down, so I think now maybe we'll look at, I pulled the throttle cable and stuff back, and I actually had a Mustang throttle bracket, because I don't know if you guys know much about the 5 liter, 5.8 liter trucks. The throttle stuff sits on top of the intake. So I just kind of finagled it all to make it work with a Mustang bracket. And, it worked okay. Or I mean, it worked good enough. Now we got to finagle it and make it work with a carburetor. So I think I'm just going to buy one of the cheap, like holley, it'll work with an AOD or a Turbo 400. I mean, a 700 R4, the GM stuff. So I'm gonna buy one of those. They're pretty cheap. I mean, you can get the China ones pretty cheap to see if how I like it, finagling it around. So I know there's a bunch of different stuff out there, but I'm trying not to spend $1 million on it. So anyway, we'll try that out, see where we're at, see where we end up at. So, but anyway, got the intake bolted on, so I can hook the coolant lines and stuff like that up. Figured out we'll probably just do the MSD box over here where we had the computer and all that kind of stuff. What is this thing? It's just a MSD ignition, so it'll work. It don't have the rev limiter or nothing like that. So, but if it sparks it, we're good. We also had an old the pigtail. We've got one, here it is, that was in one of the other cars or something. I mean, a junkyard car, I found it. And then we've got the factory distributor, so that'll just be, a lot of that'll be plug and play. Then we just gotta do the distributor stuff, the coil stuff, and run it to a big power, a ground, and a 12 volt ignition, and boom, there we go. Got the distributor dropped in, got the intake, the hoses hooked up, got the coil back on, got the MSD. We're gonna have to zip tie some of this stuff together. We've got this is our power wire from the MSD. It's a 12 volt trigger we got to hook up. We got a ground we're going to run up to here, and then we just got it tech screwed into that stuff, and then we'll just bunch this excess up and zip tie it up out of the way. So hopefully it works. If it doesn't, well, you guys tried. We tried. Got some connectors now, so we can finish hooking up our MSD. Let's weigh our hood. I'm curious what that weighs, just out of curiosity. Let's see what our hood weighs. 29.5 pounds. Wow, it's heavier than I thought it was, honestly. Dang, for such a short hood. Wow, 29. So, yeah, we'll probably leave that off, run the scoop, you know, depending on how everything's going. I mean, also, David's already, I haven't even officially, like, called him out or anything. And he's like, I'm just hoping to run 11s. I'm like, are you serious? This thing ran mid-10s with a gear and a shift kit and some shorty headers. What are we talking about? I mean, when I say a gear, I had a 410 in it. I mean, come on, man. His truck's it's newer, got way less miles on it. Come on, man. Lighter, at that time, I mean, this thing wasn't, this thing's still pretty heavy. Anyway, whatever. It's all ready. But I get it. I'm a little bit faster right now. We also got, haven't even opened yet. A piece of the puzzle. This is for the TV linkage, or for the TV cable. I bought like one of the cheapest ones, China, sure, to relocate it to where it's lined up. Anyway, whatever. I got one. I wonder how well it oh yeah, that's money in the bank right there. Sweet. So at least that part of it works good. Because the TV cables on the trucks are different than what's on like a Mustang, where the Mustang has like the slider deal and the little shaft that goes up through the throttle, up through the linkage, and then it's got a clip on it. The truck ones are TV cables are like where it uses, where it'll slide onto this clip. This right here, it just snaps on there. So that's very cool. Now, when my throttle cable bracket comes in, if that works out, man, we're gonna be golden. Then we've really got to just get the fuel system stuff done, and then we'll be doing burnouts. I mean, granted, carburetor, there's a lot of other factors. So let me finish up on this wiring a little bit, and then we'll see what we'll see. Got the switch panel powered up, so I think we'll pull spark plug wire off, see if it sparks. All right, I will try not to be in your way. Let's hit this deal. We have sparkology. Well, that's good. We've got some sparks. So we've also got to hook up the tachometer. We've got to put a relay in for the fan and run the wires for that stuff. We need to do something with our valve body switch. Got a lot to do. Nitpicky stuff that takes time. We're gonna put in this piece of crap. Yeah, this is the one that was in McNugget. We're gonna put this in. I don't really like these that much, but what the crap. It looks like it's a drag van. And we're gonna put a shift light so everyone gets the full effect of what we're trying to do. This one had the shift light cut off, and we've got a shift light that was cut off probably from this, and we're gonna screw all that garbage together. So, and this is the ground for it, for the tack. A ground for a panel, ground for the MSD. So, all right, sparks, that's awesome. Now that screams race car. Oh my gosh. I mean, if you're gonna be a wannabe, be a straight up wannabe, dude. Here we go. All right, I'm tired of wiring for the moment. I hate wiring. I hate it. Because for one thing, I'm not any good at it, but another thing is I'm just tired of doing it for right now. So one of the other things we're going to do is remove this gargantuan gas tank and put in something much smaller, which will decrease our range by about 80%. This thing does not get great gas mileage anyway, so you know, we'll have to be kind of careful or pay attention to what we're doing. So anyway, let me you can see I've already had this tank out before. It's got a 340 in tank, so I wonder how much gas is in it. Anyway, let me drop this out and see what's what. I'm gonna be honest, you pull into a gas station in a van and open the back door, start putting fuel in a fuel cell, your street cred is out the roof, man. Oh God. I mean, it is out the roof. It is not want to damage. This has got some gas in it. For the record, we had to loosen the filler hose up, but now got it out. What in the world? Damn. Nice noises. Cannot. Whew. That dude's in there. Well, I have to look at getting it done the other way. Get something so I can start cutting stuff. Right, let's pull Big Stinky out of here. Man, got some gas in there. Ow. Not gonna need that where we're going, or that, or this. So, along with a bunch of other things that we're not gonna need, like any of this stuff. Unbolt that, tack it in, a spot wheel. Weird. Say weird. It's a van, so we don't know what's weird and what isn't weird, what's normal and what's not normal. I'll take this. We're gonna take this whole line out. All this stuff, fuel injection stuff. Man, who's jacked? I mean, who is jacked for what is happening right now? I'm gonna be honest, I am feeling a little jacked. Okay. I'm gonna fix this rear bumper from where we tried to separate Kevin's GTO drive shaft. Did not work. Listen, DragVan couldn't pull it apart. It ain't meant to come apart. And that was actually the truth. So, but it looks like crap. So I'm either gonna get another bumper or fix this one. We gotta cut this hitch deal off. I've got another hitch that's actually for F-150 that'll bolt in. So this wasn't the greatest idea. Whoever had this wasn't for towing anything serious. All right, we got our filler neck out and we got the vacuum tube out. So, or the vent, I say vacuum, the vent. Now we'll start looking at pulling the fuel lines out, and at that point we'll be ready to go back bigger and better. Let's get these gas snakes out. There's half of it. There it is. Ooh, this got a little warm too. Got it all out. So that's a lot of stuff. I'll drain the fuel out of the tank. I'll drain the fuel out of the tank. And I mean, we'll weigh it, whatever. Okay, V0. It's not on my foot. Okay. Wow. 42.4 is what all that stuff right there weighs. Whew, no wonder my back hurts. You know, we're probably gonna lose a little bit of weight, but you know, every little bit counts. This thing will never be a lightweight. I mean, there's just nothing I can do about that unless I just chopped it and made it into a truck or something, but we ain't gonna do that. Drag van, it's just gotta be what it's gotta be. The only way for a drag van to, I say be any quicker or whatever, is we'd have to go up in cubic inches, realistically. But that's, you know, this thing is never a serious drag vehicle or whatever. It's just for fun. You know, race the street cars and stuff like that in the stage line. I don't care who I race, just to have a good time and screw around in. It already accomplished the goal that I'd set out for originally, was to run 8s in it, and it did it barely, but it did it. So anything after that's just gravy, but realistically, I'd like to put a 5-speed in it. I know racing this thing with a T5 is just a recipe for disaster of broken transmissions and things like that, burnt clutches. I understand all that, but it's not like I'm gonna take it to track that much. I'd take it up there and run it, but for just driving it every day, oh man, how much fun would this thing be? Especially, I don't want to say, listen, I ain't gonna go around terrorizing no Scat Pack Challengers or Coyote Mustangs or anything like that. But you know, I could scare some people. They're just like, wait a minute, why is that thing still in my, why is that thing still on my door handle? So, and a T5 would make it much more enjoyable to drive. It'd make it quicker and stuff. You know, one day, that's the ultimate goal, is for it to have a stick. But one day, we're not there yet. We just gotta get it running, and then we'll go from there. We're headed in the right direction. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the ways you guys support the channel. We couldn't do it without you, and we wouldn't do it without you. How about I should just say, we couldn't and we wouldn't do it without you. Does everybody feel better like that? I sure do. But especially, dang, thanks for watching. And until next time, on the Substandard Leader in Fox Body videos on this here man's YouTube, 1 year only twin turbo Lincoln Town cars, Ford drag vans, proud owner, proprietor, and VIP member of Club Big Boost. And as always, fighting the good fight against zombie Mustangs and that rascal Dr. Fear. We'll see you guys in the next video.